Hello everybody, it's Goober here, and today I'm going to explain to you how to do simple stoichiometry problems in 6 easy steps. Our first step is to find our givens. Now, our givens will come from our problem statement. So, for example, say that we have about 5.274 grams of oxygen at the start of our reaction. This is our base given. This is extremely important in the actual stoichiometry problem. This will serve as the base for all of these other steps. So we have our original given, which is 5.274 grams. And in this scenario, our given element is oxygen, so we have 5.274 grams of oxygen, and we have our givens. And what we need to do is we need to calculate how many moles we can make at the start of at the end of a reaction. And so to do that, we will use the method of stoichiometry. And our second step, after finding all of our required givens, is to perform our conversions. And conversions are finding, they're much like how in geometry you would give a congruency statement for a triangle, like triangle triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF. It is essentially the same thing here, where for our conversions, we have 5.274 grams of oxygen is equivalent to 1 mole of oxygen. Moles are a fictional unit of measurement in science. Well, they're not really fictional, but they are important, and you should take care to sufficiently memorize moles and how they work. So now that we have completed our conversions, we have said that 5.274 grams of oxygen is equivalent to 1 mole of oxygen. And so now that we've completed our conversions, we can move on to the third step of the process, which is our pathway. And what a pathway is, essentially, is saying X amount of grams of oxygen is equivalent to X amount of moles of oxygen, or X amount of grams of oxygen is equivalent to 1 mole of oxygen. And this is what is up here, is our pathway. So X amount of grams of Y amount of element is equivalent to X amount of moles of that element. And so now that we have our completed pathway, we can move that pathway into our matrix. And it also should be noted that for stoichiometry problems, more specifically for gram to mole problems, you will need the actual, well, for all stoichiometry problems, you will need the molar mass of that element for the actual problem. So in this case, the molar mass of oxygen is approximately 39.9971 grams. And so what we do is we take 5.274, we take 5.274 grams of oxygen, and what we do is this one here is 1 mole. We take 5.274 grams of oxygen and multiply it by 1 mole because of our pathway statement up here saying that 5.27 grams of oxygen is equivalent to 1 mole. But we're not done yet. Now we take the molar mass of that element to find the amount of moles. So our original molar mass was 39.9971. And we take this multiplied by this and divide it by the molar mass. And when you divide 5.274 by 39.9971, you get approximately 1.31859. But, again, we're not done yet. Significant figures play an absolutely humongous role in all stoichiometry problems, and they will not go away no matter how hard you try. And so, with that in mind, we have 4 significant figures here. So we would go here, and we would cut our given calculator answer from the lowest amount of significant figures. And we take a look over here to the right side of the equation, and since this number is greater, this can move up, and our final answer should be 1.318, or no, not 1.318, 1.319. And that is how you calculate the amount of moles that can be produced from a given element. Do note that this is gram to mole. There are many different kinds of stoichiometry problems, but I will go over more of them in another video. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.